and I am completely unprepared. Like all I know is this is Smittox Brewing.
That is true. That's all you need to know.
That's all I was given. So
that's all. We'll get into that. He's a journalist. He'll figure out some damn questions. He'll be fine.
It's all good, man.
You guys ready to rock?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go for it, Nick.
Are we just gonna start right off? Huh?
We might as well. Shit.
Well, shoot, let's do it.
Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, promotional products and design. They cover your brand bumper to bumper with graphic design, promo products, and print. See what Dire Oil Graphics can build for you at direoil.com. That's DYEROIL.com.
I think we have a first. During the open, we were joined by someone else.
Welcome to Beers with Nigel. Welcome to Beers with Nigel. I'm Nigel. That's Nick.
I'm that other guy.
It's a show about beer and other stuff.
Or things, depending on which piece of our bad marketing we wrote.
Well, it depends on the week. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the show, Smittox Brewing. We got Smitty, we got Finley, and we got DJ Creer. What's up, fellas?
What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? How are you?
We didn't know it was going to be a triple threat up in here, but that's all good. The more the merrier. DJ, you got a beer with you, son?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Let's start with that. We have
drinking.
Well, we got this. Hold on. We got this one dude that watches, and we don't tell him what we're drinking. He gives me motherfucking grief every time.
Yeah.
So shout out to Junior. We got this local craft beer out of Kansas City, Chaeson Farmhouse Sour Ale from Windshift Brewing. Shout out to my man Tony. Were you drinking, Smitty?
Drinking a homebrew, man. I got a German Pilsner I brewed up. So I've just been tasting it as it's been going along, man. You know, it's getting better. So
it's in the proper glassware, I see. In that Pils glass.
Most definitely. Let me put that in there.
There you go.
There we go. I like that.
There you go.
Always
Finley, what you got, son?
So I'm drinking the Blackest Beautiful collaboration we did with Vector Brewing up in Lake Highlands here in Dallas with blackberry, cocoa nibs, and cinnamon.
Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds nice. DJ, what about you, man?
I'm drinking water right now, but I'm about to go grab my short order porter.
Look, he wasn't here. He wasn't here for the instructions. I get it.
I was like, oh man, I need my beer. But I have my last short order porter from 2019.
Right. Oh, okay. Was it a homebrew?
Oh no, that's our collab Martin House did with Smittox Brewing.
Oh shit, Martin House. Okay, y'all already doing big things down there.
I
kind of already know that because I met Smitty at Fresh Fest. Smitty, for the people who don't know about you and your crew, kind of give us the once over.
Okay. Yeah, for sure, man. So really started brewing, maybe back in 2013-ish, and so from there, first batch, like many, home brewers was terrible. Didn't let it, bother me too much. It's like, all right, I know what I did wrong. Poured way too much hops in like the beer. And so since from there, it's just been a constant, growth as far as just learning different styles, learning how to, just pay attention and read the damn instructions. That's probably the most important thing. And, being patient. But, from there, just started for like extract, brewing a bag. Now it's a two vessel system, and just steadily growing, within the times, from different styles instead of just doing the regular IPAs and pale ales, really, try to my hands on various ales, saisons, porters, stouts, and just the gamut. Then over the last year or so, I started getting into lagers, because you always get that, you gotta really tie up your stuff for a long time to do a lager. So that kind of threw me off for like years. It's like I really don't want to wait and not be able to brew anything else. So, but I finally took the leap into lagers and stuff like that, and so. So once I started making decent beer, I started getting into more like competitions and festivals and stuff like that, and started winning medals. And then so from there, you start getting people all the time. It's like, hey, you should open a brewery, you know. So you hear that a lot, you know. But in the beginning, it's just like, all right, I don't know if this is serious or not. I can't quit my day job, blah blah blah.
Right.
You know, I got bills to pay. But as you start hearing more and more people tell you how good the beer is, you know, you start to think, it's like, wow, I think I really can do this. And then, so, you know, you start putting pen to paper, you start writing up a plan, and you start coming up with ideas on how you can get some funding and stuff like that. And so within that time, it's just still working on the beer, trying to go brew with different breweries, learn the management, the business side of things, you know, instead of just brewing. And so once I finished up the plan, it was like, all right, you know, I need to do this, but I need to find some people to do it with, because trying to do it all by yourself is definitely, you know, I don't think it's impossible, but why do everything when you can bring on people who specialize in like a certain area? You know what I'm saying? So that's when I found these two guys were like, you know, some things happened to where they were separated from their jobs, which was a terrible thing, you know, that happened, but it was kind of a blessing for the company. You know, I was able to grab DJ and then Michael, you know, to really help me see the vision, you know, because I mean, I focus on the beer, right? I mean, I know how to brew beer. I know how to, you know, run a, you know, small brew house, but I'm not a sales guy. I mean, I could sell if I wanted to, but sales isn't my thing. You know, marketing is like, I mean, I can market if I wanted to, but that's not my thing, you know. So why try to do everything when I can have a team with me, when we can do a lot of the stuff that you know, these guys can pick up the slack where I can't, and then, but it all makes the company stronger. So.
You sound like Sean from 17% Drip. He's like, I need a crew. I need a crew. He's like, I can't do all this shit myself.
Oh,
having a team's more fun.
Yeah.
So, hey, do you remember though, like, was there a certain beer you made or a moment? Do you remember when you kind of believed the hype, when it was people were telling you all along, right, that, hey, this is good beer, maybe you should go pro, maybe you should go pro? Do you remember like that beer that went, maybe they're right?
So it was probably this stout I did called Triple Stage Darkness, right? So when I first brewed that, one of my buddies in Jersey, you know, my buddy Mike, I like send him a bottle, and like, you know, say he was home brewing at the time, and he was getting prepared to launch his own brewery. So I like send him a couple bottles. They shared it, and I get this text, and like this is like probably my second or third year into brewing. So I get this text like, yo, what the fuck? How did you make this? And so I like called him back. It was like, yo, so what's wrong with like the beer? Because I was thinking the beer was bad. He was like, no, man, it's probably one of the best stouts I've like had. So that's when it started to click. It's like, all right, I think I have a good formula here. But I think the beer that really launched me as a, you know, home brewer, a brewer, and that really kind of put the company on the map is the porter, you know, short order porter. So I
that one right there. There we go, right there.
So
that's the marketing department right there, right?
Sales guy.
Sales.
There you go.
So basically, I first put that beer into a competition, and the beer took second place, best of show.
Nice.
So the guy who won, so basically the winner was supposed to brew with the brewery, right? So the guy who won, out. Oh, that's my son. Out. So the guy who won lived in Cali, so he didn't want to fly in to like brew a beer. So I was promised to brew a beer with this brewery that I'm gonna leave nameless. They know who they are, but you know, when it boiled down to it, they didn't hold up to the end of the deal. So I met one of the guys from Martin House, and he was like, "Hey, we're having a homebrew comp, you know, in a few months, you know, because I had gave him a bottle of the beer, of like the stout, and like he was like, man, if you put this stout in there, you have a pretty good chance of winning. So, but I had just made this porter, and like everybody was like, man, this porter is dope. So I put the porter in, and like the porter won. And so that's when people really started to see Smitty as being a dope brewer. And so the grand prize was we'll put your beer into market. And so I was like, wow, money is cool, but being able to put your beer in market and not have to pay for it.
Right.
I mean, that's like free marketing. That's like free press. That's everything you want without spending your own money, basically.
That's that foot in the door that everybody's looking for.
Right.
That's a big ass boot in the door right there. If you did.
Yeah. So basically, that beer went in the market throughout Texas, major Texas markets, and it's sold out like within 4 or 5 weeks. And so there was a big hype around the beer. It was like, hey, so the following year, people kept asking, was like, are you guys gonna make the beer again? And so they reached back out, was like, hey, we want to make the beer again. Do you mind? And I was like, no, that helps me get the name out, without me having to do all that work. So they brewed the beer in 18 and 19, and the beer did very, very well. They doubled up the batch, and it's still sold, out within like maybe 1 to 2 months. Probably they had a few cans, here and there, but they didn't do it again in 2020. But I wasn't expecting them to do it every single year. But that was 2 solid years that I was able to use that to help push the brand, basically.
Yeah, you can't buy that.
Yeah, what's you when you win that kind of a prize and you've got one of the big boys making your beer for you. So what's your level of involvement? I mean, do you get to be in kind of all the processes there, or how does that work?
So the first year, basically it's my recipe, right? So I basically gave them the homebrew version. They scaled it up, and the first year I went and brewed it. I was there from start to finish. I wasn't there when it was packaged and stuff like that, but I was there from like, let's talk about how we're gonna do the beer. Let's do a little video for it. Let's, we're gonna do this, and this is gonna be how we're gonna put the beer out there. So it was very hands-on. The following year, it was like I couldn't make the brew date because I was out of town traveling, and so I was like, look, man, you guys do what you need to do, but if it's going to stay the same recipe, then we don't have to do anything differently.
Right.
So usually, both sides should work together as far as coming up with ideas on how to put the beer out, making the beer, the label, I had full hands in on like the actual can art. They were like, well, what do you want to do with the art? I was like, how about me holding a stack of pancakes? And like they like took it, ran with it.
Well, there it is.
There it is. I was watching the video.
Yeah,
that's dope.
So there was a little bit of backlash because some people who didn't understand that this is me basically, and me putting myself in the beer, my hands in the beer, putting myself on the beer. They were like, oh, I see Martin House from Affirmative Action beer, blah blah blah, and
Damn.
Saying it was like, saying seriously, and like it was like, what y'all think black people don't drink beer?
Right.
Like, look, we drink more than just the Coke 45s, man.
Yeah.
And but that was a very small amount, but pretty much the beer was very well received,
So let's back up. You talk about black people drinking beer.
Mm-hmm.
What was your, and I'm gonna ask everybody, Smitty, what was your gateway? What was the thing that got you interested in craft beer?
What got me into beer was just seeing my friends posted videos and pictures on Facebook, man. They were like home brewing. They were having fun with it. They were just drinking different beers, and just seeing that, the smile it was bringing to their face. So I started out probably like everybody else, got some pale ale and worked my way up, and just being able to have a beer that's a lot more flavor than just the macro lagers that I was drinking from like college up until, you know, my 30s, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just being able to drink one beer versus drinking 4 or 5 beers, you know.
Yeah. What about you, Finley? What got you into the craft beer game? What was your gateway, you think?
I can't really tell you my gateway. I started off as an import drinker, right? So, you know, Mexican lagers, and then you kind of go from there into your European beers, Belgians, and all that stuff. And I was trying to get into craft beer, and I do remember going to this place called Billiard Bar in Lower Greenville in Dallas, and I decided to try my first IPA that day. And it was Whitmer Brothers Broken Halo.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if the brewery's still around. They definitely don't make beer anymore, but it was the worst thing I've ever had. Like the worst thing. But that one beer that clicked in my head was like, damn, you can do this with craft beer. Deschutes Hop in the Dark.
Good brewery.
So it's a, you know, Cascadian black ale, you know, black IPA, whatever you want to call it. But I did not know you could do hops, you know, and have a dark roasty beer at the same time until I had that. So then it was like, okay, well, now it's on for IPAs. All about, you know, give me a Guinness, give me a Murphy's, you know, give me anything stout.
You're just that guy.
There was like, okay, yeah, there's definitely I get this bitterness thing now.
All right, you DJ, what was your gateway? Do you remember?
For beer wise, it's probably Sierra Nevada's Torpedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bomb in your face right there, just hops. But my friends that started Funky Picnic pretty much got me into homebrewing and the craft beer scene.
Right on.
Just going over there and helping them try out beer, being a test subject, trying ingredients out, trying the good batches, the bad batches, and everything.
That's the way it goes.
Yep.
That's the way it goes.
All right, so we've seen that DJ is doing the sales part of this team. So Finley,
I'm all about the marketing, man.
You're telling the story.
So what?
You're telling the story.
I'm telling the story about marketing.
You're telling the story about Smittox.
You're telling our story.
I mean, yeah. So I'll pick up kind of where Smitty left off. I've been in the craft beer industry here in Dallas, working for a local brewery. I guess you could say it was like the second one that was opened in the Renaissance. So it was back in 2011, 2010, somewhere up in there. And, you know, COVID, got laid off. There's not much going on, not any events happening. And he reached out to me, and it's perfect, man. I have known him, since before Shorter Reporter came out. Sean Dorsett, Dallas Beer Squad, 17% drip, 12%, then 17%.
Yeah, we heard.
We go back, man. We go back. The Suicide Beer, Weston, like, known this cat for a while. Same thing with DJ. DJ used to roll through the brewery. When I was working there, I used to run the tours every first and third Saturday. He hit me up and it's like, hey, you coming through? Are you at work? You know, I'm coming through. Him, his girlfriend, now fiance, would come through and we would hang out. Then afterwards, you know, it's a giant bottle share. But I think that us coming together right now is perfect, man. There is not a lot of diversity here in the North Texas beer scene, right? When I was working for my former brewery, I was one of, I think, 3 that actually worked for the brewery.
Right.
And it was at one point 3 Black people, right? At one point, I think it was 4 or maybe 5, just, you know, kind of people coming through. But there never has been a lot of diversity up here. So to go in with these guys and open up, you know, this new brewery, and we're doing it in the suburbs, you know, not in the city, you know, not in Dallas itself. I think it's huge. I think it's a big step forward for the craft beer scene here. And I think people are going to be surprised, you know, kind of what we plan on doing for beer. You know, we don't want to be a one-trick pony. I think a lot of breweries around here are focused on a core lineup. and I got to put out a light beer, a dark beer. You have to. Hey, oh God, don't even get me started on the hazy train.
Well, you don't want the seltzers?
There's nothing wrong with a seltzer. There's nothing wrong with a hazy.
It's got its time and its place.
It's got its place.
It's time and its place. Like hazies in general, probably not. No, it's not my favorite style of beer.
Okay.
I can appreciate a good one, but don't give me a hazy IPA. If anyone knows me, they know never to give me a hazy IPA.
Give you a stout, right?
Give me a stout. Give me a West Coast. Like give me a barley wine. Give me anything. I just that soft pillowiness.
I knew it.
On your tongue. Like I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't. It's not like IPA.
I get it. It's always stout season.
Yeah,
it is.
Look at the haze, bro. Look at my haze.
Yeah.
The Merc.
But it's going to be very interesting, and I'm ready for the ride. I mean, it's going to be an amazing ride that we're going to go on here over the next 18 months or so.
Yeah.
Before you break out the bag,
okay.
So it's curious. You just said it was a big deal to be doing it in the burbs. We've had some other brewers on. Sizzle out in Ohio, it was a big deal for him to be doing it.
That one earlier today.
Well, right, and and he was saying it's a big deal to be back in the city. So I'm kind of wanting your perspective on why you think it's an equally big deal to be open in the burbs.
I mean, because I live in the burbs.
Yeah, he's going to tell you that.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, what it boils down to is before I was bringing on guys to help me with the business, I was like, look, if I start any company, I don't want to drive 20, 30 miles. So that, me from Dallas is about Dallas borders. It's probably about 12 to 13 miles, to get in the city. It's probably about an extra 5 to 7. Right. So I don't want to, drive far. My goal to own my company is to not drive an hour to get to work. I was doing that before COVID, and that's not what I want to do. So, I mean, I want to open up a business where I live at. I pay my taxes in the county. I want to have my business in like the county, and there's a lot more of us moving up this way.
Right.
So we kind of feel like, why should we have to migrate towards Dallas, Fort Worth, when we can get something here without going too far in like the boonies? You know what I'm saying? So this is close enough to Dallas, 10, something miles. Yeah. Where we're looking at, it's not that far from Dallas. So
yeah.
But I just don't want to drive. I'm just being lazy.
no, I get it.
Well, Nick
real quick, but I'm going to pause real quick. You might want to grab those headphones if you have them. We were getting a little we were getting you twice there in that part.
Gotcha. 1 second, bro.
Anyway,
I look. I totally understand. Look, I walk 5 minutes to my studio here, so look, I'm the king of lazy.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is the mystery beer bag, right? I bring mystery beers to Nick. This bag may have come from a golf course. It might have been stolen. We don't know for sure.
Creatively procured.
Yeah, procured.
So I do have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you always stick like a 14% beer in there? Like, tell me you don't always make it a big beer.
No, so it's whatever is in the front. I kind of selective.
Okay.
But it's always a surprise to him, and we keep it classy in the brown paper bag. You know what I'm saying?
Right on.
There were a few episodes in a row where they were all big beers.
But it wasn't.
Sounded amazing though.
Which one?
I can't remember what it was called. It's the same one. God, the dude from Ohio was on the podcast that day. It was like a 14% prairie adjunct.
Yeah, it's probably one from Service.
Yeah, probably one of ours. Which by the way, we're in the shirt today.
Yeah.
Courtney, I still love you.
What we got there, Nick?
We have All Joy pastry stout with almonds and coconut from the Iowa Project Brewing Company.
Shout out to my boy Nick up in. He just celebrated his year anniversary a weekend ago. up in Spencer, Iowa. So
tiny little Iowa.
He was a cat that was working here at one of the breweries and decided he was going to go open a brewery in a little ass town, and it's been a success. So, you know, if you make it, they will come. If you brew it, they will come. You know what I'm saying?
If you brew it well.
Yeah. If you brew it well, they'll come back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious. You know, I got a lot of family in Dallas. I've hit some breweries in Dallas. You know, you talk about working at the brewery where it's 3 people. I work at 3 different breweries, and I'm the only brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The beer scene here to me is way. Anytime I went to a brewery in Dallas, whether it be in Dallas proper or Fort Worth or McKinney, I saw black people, and I was shocked. You know what I'm saying? It's like when we went to Fresh Fest, and you know, you walk into the symposium, you go to that fest, you're like, oh my God, didn't know all these black people drank beer. It's kind of crazy. What's the Dallas beer scene like?
The Dallas beer scene is actually pretty damn diverse, man. So I would say back when I really got into like local craft beer, it would have been like 2007, 2008, going out to RAR in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
They're like me and my good friend Jared, we're the only black people there, right? That continued up until about 2010, 2011. And it got a bit more diverse. And I think that was a lot to do with there were no breweries in Dallas.
Right. That's true.
Until like, 2012, I think. I can't remember anymore. I think 2012 is when Deep Ellum opened. And then, Petacolis opened, and then Lakewood opened, and then you have all these breweries just kind of opened up within, 9, 10, 12 months of each other. And that's what changed the brewery scene here. And like I was saying earlier, I think everybody has like that one beer they're known for, and all the old school breweries that, opened around the same time have that. You got an IPA, you got a stout, a milk stout at that, an imperial red ale, you just got, what's Dallas, a blonde, so you have these big beers, you got, one smaller, lower alcohol beer, but mainly those big beers. And no matter where you go, if it's the spot to be in, you're going to see those beers on tap, and
right.
Everyone's going to be pushing those. So that definitely helped the scene move along. And then now we have, I don't know, we're probably pushing 85 in North Texas, maybe a little bit more than that.
That was quick.
I can't remember.
That was quick.
It's grown, man. In 10 years, 11 years, you went from like 2 to 85.
I'm going to have to make a map for late July when I'm there.
That's crazy.
I'm going to need a spreadsheet.
And this is the other thing, right? All these other breweries they're opening up, including us, will all be classified as a brew pub, not a manufacturing brewery. So all these big guys, Martin House and, your communities, Petacolis, Deep Ellum, they all could not sell beer to go from their tap room because they were a manufacturing brewery. It was meant to go out into the market.
Yeah, that's Texas and their weird ass laws and shit. Texas got some crazy laws.
Good old THC.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Gotta love
Then you got your brew pubs. You don't have to serve food. You have to be prepared to serve food. And you can sell as much beer as you want to anyone that walks up.
What does prepared to sell
Does that
food
mean? You have to have a kitchen whether you use it or not?
A grease
trap.
You have to put a grease trap in your brewery. That's it.
Man, that is crazy.
Right? As Nigel would say, that's easy button. That's an easy choice.
I mean,
a grease trap is not cheap. I will tell you that.
No, it's not.
No, but to be able to sell it on premises.
Yeah, well, and then the law changed 2 years ago, and now production breweries can sell up to a case a day. A case per person.
Yeah.
Per day.
I think it's a little less than a case. I think it's like 280 ounces or something.
188 ounces of 12-ounce cans. So it's a case of 12-ounce cans.
That is so
but
crazy.
I can roll to a brew pub and roll out with a keg.
Exactly.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
I love all of the different states' crazy rules.
I mean,
they're all different.
I mean, Texas was almost as crazy with the shit Oklahoma was doing to a few years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't even, and you couldn't even have a tap room, you know, until maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard.
Kansas was 3-2 until a few years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. The tap room.
Half of Arkansas is still dry.
Yeah.
So they still have semi-dry counties in Texas? They still do that?
Ooh, yes.
It's just the cities now. It's certain cities.
So it's like, it's not the whole county, but areas.
Right. Yeah. I know when I lived in McKinney, it was semi-dry.
Correct.
And you had to drive up 75. Yeah, you had to go to Anna to go get, hard liquor. It was so stupid.
Yeah. Farmersville is semi-dry. It's weird. It's all the further north stuff that the people are just starting to go out there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was
old blue laws.
Yeah, because Alan just started selling liquor like maybe 2-3 years ago, and so I'm like, man, it's, you can drive 20 minutes away, get all the liquor you want. I don't know, it's this whole weird, because coming from like back home in New Orleans, it's like you can buy liquor anywhere, and it's like you go to like the grocery store, Winn-Dixie. Go get your groceries.
New Orleans, you just walk to the corner. I mean, come on.
Now you're talking about language. I didn't know you're from New Orleans. I didn't know you're from New Orleans. I used to live there. That's my city right there, man. Love that city.
Yeah. So saying coming here, it's just like, all right. So I mean, I don't drink a lot, but it's like if I got family coming in town, I had to drive to like the Colony. To go buy some liquor. Like, I'm just like, man, it's like, man, if you guys don't want beer, then I'm sorry,
So where's the brewery going? Where's that? What's your location when you do it? Where's that going? What's going to happen at?
I mean, my idea would be somewhere along the 75 Bush area, So I really want to be around that area because it's just a lot going on over there. They're basically building up the area. They have a college over there. There's a bunch of offices,
Right.
So they're still developing, and so it'll be prime spot. And it's going to be easy access. It's like the goal is not to take a brewery and hide it in some neighborhood. I want it to be easy access. Folks are coming in from Dallas, Fort Worth. I want it to be easily. It's like, oh, there it is. It's like right off the highway. It's like or it's like a block somewhere off the highway. So I just want it to be. And I didn't want to get too far because we all live in different areas, so I didn't want to put it way up in Frisco, and have these guys drive an hour plus a day to like get to work. So
right.
Are you in the Frisco area?
No, I would have did it for him though, because that's a nice area.
Love right there. Yeah. That's love right there.
I'm gonna be there in late July, so I'm trying to figure, hey, if I can go snack some beer while I'm there.
No. I'm in Allen, so so Allen from Frisco is probably a good 10-15 minutes away.
Yeah,
I can manage that.
Well, it's close.
So DJ, while you guys are all ramping up, you're wanting to get to that point where you can open the physical. What are you doing now to get that, to get the beer out there? What's kind of your role?
Just pretty much just going around, hanging out with people, and just showing face and bringing product when I have it. Just making sure we're staying relevant in people's ears, man. Just want to make sure that people know, like, hey, this is really happening. This is something that's coming to the DFW area real soon, and if you really want to be a part of it, come out, reach out to us, hit the Main Invest page, buy some merchandise when you can, and just be ready for it when it happens.
I have been fascinated, and we've had a few, Nigel, guests like this that are, the brand is already there. The brand is already pretty big before the brewery actually happens, and that seems backward to me, but I'm fascinated by it, and by that. I mean, also too by the courage just to do it that way, right? To push the brand that's not a thing yet.
Well, I mean,
the brand is a thing, though. It is. We have beer. We have the beer out there. Just we just don't have that physical location just yet.
Yeah. I said that. I said that wrong.
Yeah. No, you're okay. But I'm just one of those people like
hater.
I wish we were able just to have a family member or a bank just give us money to open up a physical location.
Wait, you're saying open a brewery is not cheap?
Oh no, heavens, man! For certain people it is, but just for certain people.
So what's the plan for what size system? How big of a space you're looking for? What's the plan on that?
I mean, it depends on the space we get. I would love to be anywhere between, a 7 and like a 10 barrel. Even though we may not need a 10 barrel, it just gives us the opportunity to grow into it versus having to buy a smaller system and then scale up. So if you need to make smaller batches, you can. But if you wanted to make a 10 barrel batch with a 5 barrel system, you got to do double the work. So it's kind of like I'd rather just kill that bird in the beginning. But if we can get the ideal space, we're looking to get a tap room that seats maybe between anywhere from 50 to like 100 inside comfortably, and then have a patio.
Right.
Probably, we don't want to do the food because we're beer people. So if we can get next to a restaurant, maybe share a patio that seats about 75 to about 100, 150. That'll be the perfect perfect spot, because we learned during COVID that you gotta have like outdoor seating, because that's just prime, and good outdoor seating in Texas is like killer. We just want to put picnic tables outside with saying just like little tents, or like we want to have a nice little, one area is covered, one area is it's going to be uncovered. If they want sunshine, they have that option. But in Texas it's like right now it's very mild, but we know once the rain stops, it's going to hit triple digits soon.
Right.
So but that's but that's going to be my goal, is to at least get like if we have to do a 5 barrel, that's cool, but I would prefer to do like anywhere from like 7 to like a 10 barrel.
So I've been watching the Invest, and that's been pretty successful. What were you surprised that you were able to do what you did? I mean, I love it because everybody else gets to do it. Why not?
Right.
So what's your thoughts been?
I'll tell my yeah. So I'll give my thoughts first, and then they can give their thoughts on it. So started with like the Kickstarter, right? Everybody was like, "Oh man, you gotta, so and so did a Kickstarter, so and so did this." I'm ready to invest. I'm ready to pledge. Do a Kickstarter. It's like, all right, cool. I did the Kickstarter, and it was kind of around the holidays and stuff like that. So maybe it was bad timing, but didn't hit. So I was like, what? If I could have taken that money that people pledged and just put it in the bank, that would be something. So I did everything. I took all the same rewards, from the Kickstarter, and I sold them direct on my page. So it's just like, all right. So I was able to raise some funds that way. And then I had a bunch of people hit me up. It's like, I want to invest. I want to invest. I want to invest. It's like, all right, cool. So I was like, let me find a good platform to build this in this like investment side of things. So I talked to 2 or 3 of them. Mainvest just made the most sense. They were also probably one of the cheapest. They're not cheap, but they were one of the cheapest ones that I talked to. So called them. They work with me from start to finish. So when this launched, that's when the guys came on and stuff like that. So once this launched, it started off slow because they messed up our link in the newsletter.
Oh no!
So yeah, so once they fixed the link, we saw the investments go from like 500 to like almost 10,000.
Right.
And then it just kind of started going up slowly. Then it kind of stopped. And so I got a little, I was like, man, this thing ain't like gonna hit, fellas. What are we gonna do? And then it just shot out like a bat out of hell. And then we went from like 10 to 20 to 30. And then we were like around 35 for like a week or so. And then we kept going up and up. And so we hit our minimum at 50. I was like, all right, I'm glad we made 50. And then we had like 2 or 3 weeks left. And now we're at like almost 82. So
wow.
Yeah, so
86.
See, they're
Marketing
I'll
department's
like,
chiming in.
yeah, hey, hey, man, we all have to keep each other honest here, man. So, but just very humble, man, that a lot of people decided to take this journey with us, man. A lot of those people who said they were going to, and you got to kind of weed out those people because you're all like, all right, you're talking. I appreciate you wanting to be a part of it, but we need help, man. We need money. We don't need you doing a good job. We need, let's get this funded. And
Right.
this isn't like Kickstarter where you just put in money and you get merch. It's like you're gonna get your money back plus some.
Right.
So, and it doesn't take a lot. Everything helps. And so
Yeah, and that's what I
it's
liked
just been
about it.
a
It was
really, really
yeah.
good ride. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that you picked them was
sorry.
totally different than the Kickstarters or the other ones. So I thought it was brilliant. I'm like, I'd never heard of it, but I'm like, hell, as you were doing that, I had like two other friends who were doing the same thing and doing Kickstarter and this, that, and the other, and you blew them out of the water because when you hit your goal of 50, I was like, wow, that didn't take long at all. So good on you guys for for researching it and not just going with what everybody does. Kickstarter. What's the other one? I don't know what the hell it is, but anyway. What's your thoughts on it, on Finley?
Kickstarter, GoFundMe,
Yeah, GoFundMe, right? Yeah.
I think like Smitty hit on kind of more the logistics side of it, but I got worried. I'm not gonna lie, I got worried about 3 weeks, a month ago. It's like, are we gonna actually finish this out really, really strong? And then we start kicking around the whole idea of going and hosting a pop-up, right? And so this past weekend, no, the weekend before last, man,
2 weeks.
Time is flying. 2 weeks,
Yeah,
2 weekends ago, we went over to Celestial Brewing Company in the medical district and hosted a pop-up, and we were able to sample out beers, a couple of them, Fruited Goza, and then the porter with a couple of adjuncts in it. And that was, I think, the first time everyone was able to put a name to a face for every single person.
Yeah.
When I came on, we are still during COVID, or still in, COVID was still kind of locked down, and you really couldn't, not much going on, but I was busy with work. And I just couldn't, it was like, I need to know 3 weeks, a month in advance to put it on my calendar just to get off. But thankfully work, lightened up, and I'm off right now, and I have a lot of free time. And we're able to pull this together and go. And I think that was the best thing that we did. It allowed us not only to put, it allowed people to put a name to a face, but also try some of the product. If you have not been out in the last year and a half, sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had anything that Smitty's brewed, but able to come and do that now versus labor of love, which was a year and a half, 2 years ago. I think it was big for us, and it's proving to be very successful. I'm very excited to see it's almost approaching 90,000, man. That means a lot to us. That means that people believe in us, and we don't want to let anyone down. And we didn't want to take any handouts. That's not what we're about. So everyone will get their money back and some.
Yeah. So as this is going along, DJ, what were you worried too?
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's something new and different. Like I said, you had to have people try this new website called Main Invest. A lot of people didn't hear about until Smitty did this whole brewery thing, investing page, and you're like asking people to take a chance on you and like, hey, for just $100, you get a return on your investment of 1.5, which is great. But people aren't really. They talk a big talk about supporting Black business and small businesses, but then when you ask them to actually contribute to that, they're like, I'm just gonna hold back a little bit and see what you boys do, and then probably
I don't know you.
Yeah, I haven't tried your beer. I don't know anything about you, but a lot of people did take the chance and take a risk. Like we said, we have a lot of out-of-state people that just say, "Hey, I believe in y'all, believe in your goal. I want y'all to succeed." Yeah,
right here.
y'all, yeah.
I was like, yeah, got to represent, you know.
Right, and it's like you said, 1.5 on your return on investment is pretty solid. It's gonna be start rolling out in 2027, 2026 maybe, but yeah, it's just one of the things. Like, man, I'm just nervous if people are gonna take a chance and donate money. It's not they're quick for Kickstarter because that's all over the media and all over Facebook and Instagram, but Main Invest is something new to everybody, so you had to go and create a page, put your card information in on there, and then hit that submit button of how much ever money you're going to donate or invest, not donate, but invest.
So that was cool. The Celestial let y'all come do that pop-up. Is the brew community in Dallas cool like that? Where they're like, I mean, obviously you got the hookup at at Martin House. What's the brew community like? Because here it's super dope.
Yeah.
I mean, it's solid, bro. It's
family, man.
And then with these two being in the industry, for years, and me coming in as like a brewer, not working in the actual industry itself, but just once they see you have a genuine interest and love for it, they're willing to like open up the gates like Vector, saying
shout out to
before
Vector.
they even open. I had hit up Craig Bradley, one of the owners, and Tommy the brewer. I was like, hey, I'm this is what I'm planning on doing. I want to come see your spot. Do you guys mind? I mean, they still had like sawdust everywhere, and so I basically went there and they let me tour the place, man. They let me ask any questions I wanted to ask about opening a brewery, and from that day they were like, hey, you want to do a beer? So we've done like 3 beers within the last year. So they really taken me myself under their wings, kind of show me the actual ropes. And once you go talk to these owners and like the brewers, and they see a genuine interest in you, not just that you're just doing this to kind of get like some clout, because they kind of feel that out. It's like, oh, you just want to make beer to benefit yourself. Like our thing now is like, since we can't make no money from selling the beer, we at least want to bring people to their breweries to help them out, and then in future we'll turn around and then we'll brew a beer at our spot with them, and then and like vice versa. So it helps out both sides. Like even if they're not the biggest brewery in Dallas, that still doesn't mean that we don't want to work with them,
Right.
I'm generally interested in seeing everybody's setup to see what they're doing right, what we can do better. They'll tell you, it's like, man, if I could start over again, I wouldn't do it this way. And to me, that's priceless.
Yeah, you can't.
Well, and I think so much of craft beer world, right, is about that community aspect. I mean, that whatever city and metro you're in or whatever area, right? Like everybody kind of knows each other. You're still working together. That it can be booming like it is, but it's still small. It's like the big little town, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, because I've had coworkers go off and start up their own breweries. I had 2 coworkers go off. We had 1 coworker go off and did Turning Point, and then another gentleman did Brutal Beer Works.
Fucking Turning Point, man.
Yep, and Brutal Beer Works.
Damn. Yeah, I'm kind of blown away, because like you guys said, for a long time there wasn't shit in Dallas as far as brewery wise, and in the last few years it's just gone gangbusters. So every time I'm down there, I'm like, what the hell? There's another one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's been crazy. I love it. So what's y'all's plan? Because this thing we talk about this a lot on this show is trying to get more black people into beer, or women or gay or whatever. Obviously, you brothers are going to have a different perspective when you open a brewery. I'm sure you guys have thought about that. What are your thoughts on expanding? How many different ethnicities that come into your brewery? What's the plan on that? Anyone?
So I think there's. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So I think the one of the, not, I want to say easiest ways, one of the surefire ways is to do it through events, right? You can host all kinds of events that cater to a specific crowd, and once those people come, enjoy what they're there for, but you also sell them, this experience and the good beer, it'll keep them coming back. No matter, if it's, a drag brunch, or you're hosting a Madden tournament, or a Selena, tribute party, whatever you want to do.
I want all three of those
you
combined.
can definitely draw people in by doing that.
Those are all his events. That's why. Those are all his events. Those are all his events.
All of that in one event.
Got a while before we open, but yeah, we can, man. We definitely can. But that's the one thing I learned in doing, marketing and events for several years here in the Metroplex, is we have a varied group that comes into a brewery, man. And one of the most hardcore are the runners, people that run ultra marathons and all that. They kill for beer after they go running. So, we want to be inclusive. We are we will be 100% minority owned, but we want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable coming there.
Right. I dig it. Smitty, I know you probably thought about this, obviously being a brewer for a long time. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it just boils down to, man, like, it used to trip me out when I used to go places and I used to see people just drink beer and they just sit there like, oh my God, this is like the best beer in the world. It's like their hazies can't be, touched. They brew this on the mountaintop, and I'm just looking at them like, and the beer's all right, but just, when, I was like waiting tables during college, and I would talk to people about wine and stuff because I used to like work at Brennan's, and it's a pretty fancy restaurant. It's not the most expensive place, but it's not the cheapest either. But their wine list, there's bottles in there went from 25 to like 25,000, and so being able to show my experience with the wine, and people say, oh my God, I didn't know you knew this stuff. And so it's the same thing about beer. It's like, once they figure out that beer, and not just hype beer, but good beer,
right.
A good beer doesn't have to cost you $2,000 on like the secondary, and you can get good beer for like good prices.
And if you want to spend that, you can, but you're a damn fool.
No, you don't.
Right.
No, you don't.
You can.
Right, but just seeing that, like, when I was sharing my beer with different people, I would come down to where Mike was working. I would share my beers there. There'll be black people there, there'll be white people there, there'll be gay people there, lesbians. I don't know the whole alphabet, but it's just like different cultures, genders. I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to diss anybody.
Right.
But it's just that just sharing those beers with everybody from a different background, a different culture, a different gender, and just seeing the smiles that it brings on people's faces. That's what I want to do. I want to partner with the neighborhood. I want to be a great business partner. It's not like I just want to go open this brewery in Plano because Plano is one of the most affluent cities in Texas. I want to be a part of that neighborhood, or Allen, or wherever we go. I want to be a part of that like neighborhood. I want to be a good business partner and just show you that I'm not just here to make money. I'm here to work with everybody. I want to, source my, if I'm going to do a pastry stout, I want to get my pastries locally. I want to go to like the bakery and buy the stuff from there. I want to get my coffee locally. It's a great coffee shop I buy from in Plano all the time. Fort Worth, it's this black-owned coffee shop. I love the coffee. And I want to incorporate all that stuff in our beers. I just don't want to be this hype brewery, that has three brothers who are trying to just, make a name for themselves. We want to be known for just doing the right thing and just making good beer.
And good beer. So DJ, you're out on the streets. Obviously, you've got to talk up, Smittox. How do you present that, and letting people know that we're inclusive. This is going to be a dope spot. What sort of things do you think about in your role?
I just see people as people, man. I love a good story. I love to hear where people come from. Love see what got them into beer. Do you even like beer? Have you ever tried craft beer? I see people as people, but I'm not worried about your color. I'm not concerned about your color. I'm concerned about you just enjoying life, having a good time with us, hanging out with us, trying our product, trying the products that are locally available. I just want you to come out and just hang out and have fun. And life is short, man. I just want you to enjoy a good beer and good conversation.
Well, we're about to have a beer that we have no
Life
idea
is
what
always
it is.
better at the beer table.
So Mack Brewing sent us some beer, right?
Junior.
So
I don't know what this is.
Some of the beers had labels. He sent a 4-pack of a beer with no label. We have no idea what the hell this is.
So this is just the Mack Brewing special.
Shout out to Mack for an actual mystery beer. So we're gonna see what the hell this is.
Go.
So
chug it.
Mack got a bunch of cans with no saying labels. Man, I could have sent you got a gang of stuff.
Right.
You got a bunch of low fills and shit.
I have no idea, man. It's like stouts and porters. I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
So what happened?
We're gonna find out.
Let's see what this is.
Well, you've been doing this. You've been doing the studying, so you got to be able to tell me just by the nose, right?
I'm gonna go barley.
Ooh.
No, it's that's a wheat beer.
Oh, it's a wheat beer.
Yeah.
Dang.
we hope for barley wine.
Yeah. I was gonna tell you to shoot that bad boy. Shoot it.
Yeah. Look, I'm not
hates the wheat.
I'm not afraid. I'm not a big wheat beer fan, but you know what? It's beer. I'll drink it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we've had this talk a lot where like it may not be your thing, but we've had a lot of good beer.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'll drink that shit. Look, I brought this cat right here. We got some of that Martin House pickle beer.
Oh,
which my goodness! I'm not.
The regular one, not the hot one.
No, I'm with DJ on this.
I'm logging out.
I will try anything, but that was a mistake.
They got a Kool-Aid beer.
It's a good. It's good marketing. It's great marketing.
Look, if you like the devil's food, you'll like the pickled beer.
Yeah.
But look, why you got to ruin a good cucumber?
Yeah. Or Salty Lady. Why did you ruin Salty Lady for that?
I mean, it's the pickles are the devil's food, man.
So it sounds like you guys. Yeah, he don't like pickles, man.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
He don't like pickles and St. Louis Cardinal fans.
No. Cucumbers are great. Why you got to ruin them?
Improve them.
But would you eat pickled anything else?
Oh yeah. I like other things.
Is it just pickles or like pickled onions?
It's
like,
just
pickled pig feet? Like, what
Let us get him on some pickled pig feet.
I've had the pig feet.
Oh,
yes, sir.
He's saying yes.
Yes, sir. I like lots of things pickled. I just don't like pickled cucumber.
Okay.
Oh, that's a cool.
And look. There are exceptions to prove that rule. There are a few places I'll eat the pickle.
Oh well, that's true. That is true. So it sounds like you guys have done. Yeah, that's motherfucker tripping now.
Phrasing.
It sounds like you've been doing.
Pause.
Yeah. What the hell, right?
Oh, that got awkward.
You've done some collabs, man.
Yeah.
Just a few. Just a few.
You said just a few. It sounds like more than a few.
Do some more work.
What's been some of your favorite collabs?
So people been like saying sleeping on this, man, but probably my favorite was probably the one I did with Grist House, man.
Good brewery.
That one was just cool, man, because it's a different city, and just going up there for the first time and just receiving the love from like total strangers, man.
Right.
And them not being stingy with the information and just working with the head brewer there, Sean. He's like this like ex chemist. So getting to pick his brain, I got to count yeast for the first time, and it's just like, man, this is cool stuff, man. But probably locally, my favorites have like been with the Vector, man. Tommy at Vector, he's just this mad scientist who's he's all about the like funky weird beers, and just being able to pick his brain has been really, really good, man. Plus we made 3 dope beers together. So
where's Vector at? What part of town?
Lake Highlands.
Lake Highlands.
East Side Gang, East Dallas.
Okay, got you. The East Side Gang.
See, that's how you live in the suburb. You call it.
I don't know, man. Hey, bro,
but they were good beers.
What I
live in East Dallas, and it's still like 5 miles from me.
So what were the three beers you made with Vector?
It's all the same, man. So we did the Black is Beautiful that Finley was drinking. We did a coffee Schwartz beer, and we did we did a sour with golden berry and pink guava.
He's wearing a Star Wars shirt, and he said Schwartz beard, and all I could think of was I see a Schwartz. It's as big as mine.
Look, and I can honestly say I've never heard of a coffee Schwartz beer. So there's that. So how was that?
Well, I mean, it's just really just when you think about a coffee lager, most of them are going to be a black lager, which is most of them are going to be Schwartz beers. A lot of people don't know what Schwartz beers are, so
right.
When they put the beer out there, they labeled it as like coffee Schwartz beer, and they said nobody bought it. They changed it to coffee black lager, and people started buying it like crazy. So, so people have probably had a Schwartz beer before,
right?
But it was probably just called a black lager, you know.
Right, right.
But it was fire though, you know. It's like you get the roast from like a dry stout, but it's just a nice, clean easy drinking beer. It's like maybe 4.5 or 4.9%.
Yeah.
So it was very easy drinking.
I got to ask you this, Smitty, because when I met you, it was a Fresh Fest, right? And I know what Fresh Fest did to me and how it felt like to me. And
we're here because of that.
And we're doing a podcast because of Fresh Fest. What was that like for you going and seeing that event?
I mean, just seeing so many of us out there having a good time, you know, because constantly we have to live with the stereotypes that, one, we don't know beer, two, black people can't get together and have a good time, three, you know, hey, somebody's gonna start fighting or shooting and blah blah blah. I didn't see a single person puke. I didn't see nobody pissing outside. I didn't see no fights.
I might have pissed outside, but nobody saw that shit though.
Nigel's always that guy. I'm sorry.
So really, all I saw was just a lot of different faces. It wasn't just black people, you know, and that's what people, and that's what pissed me off about the comments. Everybody was like, "Oh, this black beer festival. Why it gotta be a black beer festival? With black this? Why can't it just be a beer festival?" It's like, man, fuck you, man. It's like y'all have. Well, excuse me.
Because I had my party for 400 years.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Somebody said it.
So it's like, look, you know, it's just like, look, you know, we know that it's big for us because when we go to like a lot of these festivals, it's a lot of white folks. And not saying that we're going to have a bad time. It's just like, why can't we do something like this for us? Like, I talk about the beer like I talk about the music. It's like people talk about supporting hip hop, but when you go to a hip hop show, it's all white people, and it's just like, look, why you like talk that shit about you want to give back, you want to show some love. It's like, go to the show, go buy some merch. Why do you think they charge $40 for a shirt? Because nobody buys albums anymore. So it's like we have to let people know that we love beer and we don't mind coming out to festivals, but we don't want it just to be it's a black festival only. It's a festival for everybody, but it's just being put on by some brothers. And you know, if you know, when you guys saw it, it was everybody there. You know,
it was everybody,
yeah. But you know, but what was dope about it was I had brewed with a brewery that's, I don't know if they have any black folks working there, but they showed me love. And it was just like, look, whenever you're back in Pittsburgh, you have to come stop by, period. You know, no questions asked. Yeah, my dog's over here.
So Finley and DJ, did you guys get to go to Fresh Fest? Have you guys been?
I was planning with Finley that, I think it was 18 or 19 Finley when I was planning, and I think something happened on my end.
19, the year before COVID.
Yeah, year before COVID. I was right there. I saw that. I was excited for it, man. Like to say, I hate that we have to still, like you said, it's a black festival, but once they see us as people sometimes, and we're just people that just love beer as well.
Right.
We gotta label it like that sometimes.
So
well, the energy from it has been. I mean, just from the outside white guy watching. I mean, the energy people coming out of that. I mean, how many people have we had as guests that you met there that everyone's still excited? That thing hasn't happened for 2 years.
Exactly.
Because of COVID. Because COVID ruins everything. Right. But you know, I mean, it hasn't happened for 2 years. But everybody is still pumped about this one beer festival.
It was epic.
I mean, look, we all love beer. But there's one festival that's got everybody still talking.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
that's craft beer, man. It's like you go and have that one experience that gets you hooked.
Yeah.
And not that you weren't already hooked, but it sets the hook. Seriously sets the hook.
Yeah.
And I think this is a lot. This is one for a lot of people.
So I just saw the list today for Fresh Fest, and you guys are doing a collab, looks like. Right?
Yeah, Chief, come on, Chief.
I'm sorry, man. It was saying breaking up, man. I'm sorry.
No, I saw the list of breweries for Fresh Fest coming up in September, and I'm pretty sure I saw a Smittox collab, right?
Yeah. So we are with the Grist House again. So basically, it was with was doing it with the brewery. You know, things didn't work out. You know, we couldn't find a spot on like their side. So Grist House was like, you know, hey man, we love Smitty, man. We would love to do a beer with them again. So, you know, so like they reached out, was like, hey Smitty, you want to work with Grist House again? I was like, bro, that's like a no-brainer, man. You know, because the beer we did was so popular and everybody loved that beer. And so I mean, I'm just like, look, you know, we'll do something dope again. So, I mean, it's just, you know, saying mad love there.
So it's the whole.
Do you know what you're going to be doing?
Yeah, that's true. Good question.
Can you give us some secrets on the podcast? I love a breaking news.
You know, barley, hops, water, yeast. You know, some like mad science behind it.
Some funky shit.
Really?
Some funky shit.
Really? I might have some hops. I don't know.
Yeah. So we're leaning towards something a little more malt forward this time.
So is the whole crew gonna be up there? What's the story?
We did the sour like last time.
My hatred of sours lasted one episode.
Really?
Yeah, for real, yeah.
Episode 1, I said I don't like sours. Episode 2, I love sours. More Mack Brewing.
So are you guys going to be up at Fresh Fest? Because we'll be there.
Hey man, it's not Fresh Fest anymore, sir.
No. Barrel and flow. My bad.
Yeah, don't get canceled.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit that shit out.
I will not be there. I'll be in Denver. GABF and CBC craft beer conference are going on, so I'll be in Denver for a week.
I will be delivering Baby Girl in September. Hopefully,
you got a baby.
Congratulations!
Yes, sir.
Congrats.
You're delivering? You're home birth?
Yeah, that's why I can't go to either work event because little mama will be here.
What we got there, Nick?
Mack Brewing IPA.
So you know that's his flagship.
Oof.
He calls it an IPA.
That was a bad open.
Yo, look at that.
That was a bad pour. I can see it from here. I'm sorry to call you out. My bad.
No, I deserve that. That's why I gave the can away. I don't deserve it anymore.
Nothing but head. I'm gonna show you how it's done, Nick.
Yeah.
As I spill it on the thing.
Where's the brewery located?
Where's he at?
You're in Philly, right?
Yeah, West Philly.
Philly, right?
Yeah, and this is
his
his.
Fresh Prince.
Born and raised?
Yeah. We have West Philly, born and raised. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is
where he spent most of his days.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm glad we all caught that.
So this is. So he's kind of like you guys. He doesn't have a location, but he has the brand and he has the beer. Right?
Yeah.
And this is his flagship that he calls an IPA. Is 10.5%. He didn't even call it a double.
What?
Double, triple, man.
It's yeah. I guess so. But like, you don't have to put that on the beer. It's still an IPA.
Yes. That's true.
I'll let everybody else decide if it's a double, a triple, an imperial. Like, that's a gray area to me.
Well, that's good.
Quintuple IPA.
Yeah, quintuplets IPA.
Hey,
that doesn't drink like a 10% though.
No, this is a sneaker. It does not taste like 10%
though.
Undercover. You know what I'm saying? So what's the timeline?
I approve of this beer.
Yeah, I approve of this beer too. What's the timeline on the brewery? How long is the investing? Is it still going on, or what's the story?
Tonight is the last.
Oh, is that right?
Man, you got like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you've got like 4 or 5, probably got like 4 hours left, man.
Yeah.
No, I wish we'd gone live.
Yeah,
I know we should have.
Should live, bro. That's a lie.
We live, baby. We live.
2 hours and
but
48 minutes.
Yeah. So it's been a wild ride, man. It's been very fun. I think realistically, I've always been saying 2022, but you don't want to rush things. So I think if we can get the doors open in 22, great. In the year, maybe, but it's probably just better to wait until 2023, just make sure everything's done right, and so within that time frame, we could still brew at like other breweries, still get beer out there, but we won't be able to start selling beer probably until 2023.
Gotcha.
So,
that's exciting though.
Yeah. And like once you get started, then that time will start flying. Now it seems like it's so far away, but there's still breweries who haven't opened yet. So it's like, we're not just trying to be like somebody who just wants to just make beers with other breweries. We want to make our beer. We don't want to. My dogs are crazy, man. We don't want to
special
just,
guest.
we don't just want to make, beers with other breweries, be like, so-and-so brewery and Smittox. We want to be like, hey, this is Smittox with so-and-so. We can't wait to start showing what we can do, just want to be able to pour a nice pint, see like people's face smile when like they like drink it. So that's like really the big vision, is just to make a great product, man.
Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe just the past year of shit has made you better at being patient though? That you can kind of, when you say now, hey, maybe the end of 22, maybe 20, like you feel a little better about that now because we've learned to be a little more patient.
Kids make you patient, bro.
I don't know if that's true.
Man,
I get more impatient with my kids.
I used to be that way, but like now it's like, okay, let me know what, just say what you got to say. But I think just watching like, breweries that opened during the pandemic, like Vector, for example, they opened smack dead right in the middle. They were like, do we push this off? They were like, man, we borrowed a bunch of, we have to open. So being able to watch them, and like I said, they took me in, they took these guys in as well, as far as just saying, we want to help you guys out, whatever you guys need. So I just started asking just a shitload of questions, a ton of questions, and just seeing them progress and being able to stay open. And, they're still probably not the spot where they want to be, but they're much better where they were, and just being able to fight through that, and just talking to these other breweries that have been able to stay open, keep their doors open. And it just makes you, be thankful that, you have people like that, but also it shows you what you can do, better, or what, they did, but they're saying, hey, it's like kids. It's like you want your kid to be better than you, right? So they're
Right.
like, if I was going to start over, here's what I would do. I would do this. I would do this. I would do this. So I think that's been very good. It showed us that we have to can beer. We have to have a patio. We have to have some type of food around us. So you learn from those things,
Yeah. So
Package.
right. So we asked Sean from 70% Drip this question. Somebody's coming to Dallas, and I'm gonna give everybody a chance to sound off on this. me and Nick come to Dallas.
Maybe July 23rd.
Yeah, Smitty. We come to Dallas. What places, you don't have to be rank them or whatever. Where should we hit brewery wise?
Brewery wise, if I tell somebody who's like coming out of town, I'm going to Vector. I'm going to Odd News, because they're probably one of the closest dopest breweries to me, and they're still like 20 minutes away. If you want to take a ride, Turning Point, because they're killing the stouts. There's just those would be my three. I don't want to say everything because I know these guys have some dope spots too.
DJ.
My Fort Worth spot, I'm gonna go to Funky Picnic. I love me a sandwich.
There we go. I'm in. Sold.
Yeah. Celestial for your hazy kick.
Right.
And then Vector for beer and pizza. End the night off with that.
Okay. Okay. Finley, what you got?
I'm gonna pick non-brewery places, right? So one of my favorite places to go to is Melissa Moth. I still think they have one of the dopest beer selections in town. They've been around for 12 years or something like that over in the Design District. Second place I'm taking you is called Craft Beer Cellar. So Jim and the guys over there, they just opened their bar back up, which I'm very excited about. They only have 12 taps. They don't dedicate a tap to anyone. They just want the best beer possible. Everyone there is a Cicerone. Really dope spot. So yeah, that's kind of my go-tos around town.
I think they got us covered.
I think so. I'm gonna when we get this ready to post, I'm making a list.
Like I will be down there. I'm going to the Oklahoma Craft Brewers Association Beer Fest in Oklahoma City on the 26th. But I will be in Dallas for a couple of days after that, so I'll be hitting y'all up.
Oh, right. To piggyback off
July.
Huh?
Of June or July?
June 26th.
Oh. Yeah, he's going end of June. I'm going to be down there end of July.
Oh.
All right. I'm in Mexico at the end of June, but end of July, I got you.
Yeah, right. Definitely. For Finley's, to piggyback off that, honorable mention, if you like Vietnamese foods, Cosmos.
Yes. Okay.
Cosmos in East Dallas.
Yeah, Cosmos.
So let me know when you come into town. I will take you over there to see Jackson.
Okay.
It's right down the street. I'm down.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's my kind of spot.
You guys let us know or let people know where they can find you, like on social media, where they can follow you, that sort of thing.
Start off, Chief.
And action.
All right.
You're on.
A bit. So basically, with me, it's just all Smittox Brewing. Instagram Smittox Brewing, Facebook Smittox Brewing Co. And SmittoxBrewing.com is the actual site. So there's a lot of merch there. There's a lot of it's still not up to date because I still haven't added these guys yet, but we're working on that. But that's where you can find about the history, our like vision and stuff like that. So
well, shit, it's been a pleasure, guys, having you on. I know we've been working on this for a while, Smitty. We appreciate you coming up, man.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
I think what you're doing is going to be amazing. You just see, I just the time I met you, I just felt like you was a legitimate, good soul, and have passion for the beer.
Oh man, I'm crying now.
We're gonna try to end this one a little bit. When we had 17% drip on, we've got to talk about the butt plug taster glasses. So
what? No.
Fucking hate those glasses.
You got to go listen to that episode, man.
Or go to his site. You'll know.
Of course, Sean.
You'll know.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll see him on the site. You're like, yeah, butt plugs.
You know where they can follow us?
Where they can follow us, man?
You can follow Beers with Nigel on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can even watch this if you feel like looking at these faces. I don't know why. You can see it on Vimeo. You can see it on YouTube. Hey, and it's really cool if you got one of them there Alexa devices. Just tell them, Alexa, play the Beers with Nigel episode. And you know what else, Nigel?
Do it.
You've been listening to Beers with Nigel, a show about beer and other stuff. hosted by Nigel Woodbury and that other guy, Nick Parker. Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, providing bumper-to-bumper graphic design, promo products, and print services. Find them at direoil.com. Beers with Nigel is a proud member of the Fredcast Network and is available on all of your favorite podcast flavors. Find Beers with Nigel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and ask Alexa to play the Beers with Nigel podcast.